a great time, and hopefully next year.
And maybe even some of us older owners is for help. But I'm back.
What's up, Game Boys and Girls? Big T here, back with another video. And in this video, we're going to talk about a fan favorite, apparently, from the GameCube, and that is Starfox Adventures. A lot of people have professed their love for Starfox Adventures. I like the game, but I don't love it. And I want to talk about, I just want to ask, actually, why do people love Starfox Adventures? For those who love it, it's a genuine question, because I think a misnomer with people who don't like Starfox Adventures is the fact that it's not a Starfox game, and I think that is silly, because we've had spin-off games all the time, and Starfox Adventures could have easily have been a spin-off game that worked. But there are some issues. So, if you don't know, let's go do a quick brief history. On the N64, Rare was working on a game called Dinosaur Planet, starring a wolf-looking character. I can't remember his name. And Crystal, who you all know from Star Fox now, as playable characters. You can interchange with them. You got a little hint of that in Star Fox Adventures, but they pretty much took most of that out. So recently, and I'll say recently, with I think it was a year ago. Let's see if I can find it here. Oh yeah, a year ago or so, it got leaked. The original build of the game, mostly the original build. There were some changes still. Of that game, of Dinosaur Planet got leaked. Here is my box copy of the game, made by a repro person I found online, and they made a box copy. I also have the N64 cartridge with the game on there. I actually don't even know if it's complete. I don't think it is. I think fans were working to complete it, but I don't even know if the copy I have is complete. I know you can beat it, but it just kind of ends after that. But most of the game, I'd say 95 or so percent of the game is there. There are some crashes here and there if you do certain things, I believe. I don't know. Again, I don't know if my copy has that kind of stuff worked out by fans and fan modding. I'm not sure. I'm sure I'll figure it out when I get there. But there are issues. Now, again, I was following this game pretty early on with Nintendo Power. This is the game I was looking forward to. And I was like, this is cool. This is basically Rare's version of a Zelda game. It was a fantasy game set in a fantasy world. And like I said, most of the gist of it is there. There's quite a bit of changes in Star Fox Adventures from Dinosaur Planet. But the gist of the game is there. And characters and whatnot. It just got really, especially at the end, it got really, really cheap as far as the direction and what they were doing. I think Rare was just like, we're about to be out of here. Microsoft's about to acquire us. Let's get this game done and let's get out. But the coolest aspect of the game is something that I want the Zelda games to do eventually, is have other multiple playable characters. We'd like to be able to play as Zelda in a Zelda game, Nintendo. we tell you this all the time, and so that is the thing. This is kind of like playing as Link and Zelda, but obviously in a different game, Dinosaur Planet. And so Miyamoto saw the game, looked at the original character, and thought, he kind of looks like Fox. So let's make this, let's shoehorn Star Fox into this. And bless you, Miyamoto, but you were wrong on this. But I think it was also a kind of marketing thing. They were like, well, here's a new IP versus established IP in Star Fox. Let's expand what Star Fox does. And I'm fine with that, mostly. I just wish they hadn't changed the whole kind of switching the character aspect and let Crystal be a full-on character and not some damsel in distress like they eventually ended up doing in the game. But in the original version of this game, like I said, in this version of the game, you can play as Crystal for half the damn game, and that is cool. So anyway, Nintendo has a lot of issues evolving Star Fox. They don't know what to do. Going beyond this game here, Star Fox 64. This is their the flagship Star Fox game. This is the best Star Fox game, in my opinion. And they just don't really know how to go beyond this. And I said that in the previous video that Namco did a really good job evolving Star Fox into what it should be with this lovely game here, Star Fox Assault. So, Nintendo, let somebody else to evolve Star Fox if you can't figure it out. But anyway, so a lot of people say that people don't like Star Fox Adventures. Who don't like it because it's not a Star Fox game. Not the case at all. I have no problem playing a Star Fox adventure game. I like the quote-unquote adventure elements in Star Fox Assault, where you can actually get out of your R-Wing, get out of your Landmaster, and run around on foot. And I think that lends itself really well to evolving Star Fox. So I don't have a problem with that. My main problem is that, like I said, they cut out Crystal's part of the adventure. They basically cut her out of it, made her a damsel in distress, and they shoehorned unnecessary Star Fox stuff into it. Like, they had these space missions that you go through to get to other parts of the planet. You have to go in space and you shoot meteors, asteroids, and some really low, easy characters, and you collect rings. It's just really jarring and doesn't belong in this game. And you don't need it. Let Star Fox be stranded on this planet, get into action, and just be by himself. Then be by himself. Something happened. He got stranded on Dinosaur Planet, and he got caught up in this adventure. Like a lot of adventure movies do. Where a guy just kind of ends up there and he becomes the hero. That would have been fine, and you could still have Crystal do her thing, and you wouldn't have to change the damn game so much. I think they spent a lot of time in development just cutting out Crystal stuff and forcing Fox stuff in. And then at the end, this is a spoiler warning if you haven't played the game. I know the game is 20-something years old now, so come on. But anyway, for those of you who haven't played it, who want to play through it, spoiler warning. There's this character called General Scales, who is the big bad in the game. He's the big bad in Star Fox Adventures, and he's the original big bad in Dinosaur Planet. So instead of fighting him, he kind of gets slapped out of the way, basically, at the end of the game, and you end up doing the same old Star Fox versus Andros fight in space, where it's this big Andros monkey head. You're shooting his eyes and you're watching out for him. I'm like, really? Really? Andros was behind it the whole time? No! Have a new enemy. Zelda did with Majora's Mask. They said, all right, Ganon's out from Majora's Mask. The world is out. We're in a completely different world, and Link is battling a new big bad. Why couldn't Star Fox Adventures do that when you already had a big bad? Instead of just, again, pulling him out of the game, it's jarring. Instead of just being able to fight him at the end, that's the way it should have been. And then at the end, the Star Fox buddies find him and they come and get him and they whisk him off. That's all you had to do. Like, they did too much for no good reason. Fixing, or not fixing it, but changing this game into a Star Fox game when they didn't have to do a whole lot. They didn't have to completely get rid of Fox or get rid of Crystal. So that's my biggest gripe with the game. Now, looking at it as a game itself, like I said, I like it. It's a good game. But at the end of the day, it is a Zelda clone, right? And then that was one of the things I was excited about for Dinosaur Planet, was that it's going to be Rare's take on Zelda. Because they did that. They did Rare's take on Mario 64, Banjo-Kazooie. Fantastic. Rare's take on Metroid, kinda, was Jet Force Gemini, in a way, right? And I actually wish Star Fox would evolve using some of the mechanics in this game as well. If there's anything I like about Returnal, which that game kind of gives me the hives because I'm not really into games like that, is that I'm looking at it. There are elements of Jet Force Gemini in that game. So hey, Terminator Juice, you might actually like to play this. I don't think you played this before. So Jet Force Gemini elements there. And that would be cool to be implemented into, again, an evolution of Starfox. But anyway, the problem with this game is that the Zelda part of it is pretty boring. Like the puzzles, the dungeons are nowhere near as good or as engaging as Zelda games. And maybe they just never were going to be that because Rare just wasn't up to the task, as far as doing that. And, that's not the game's fault. That's not Star Fox Adventure's fault. That's just Rare not being able to do it. But I'm going to compare it to Zelda because, again, it is Rare's version of a Zelda game. So for me, they were pretty tame, pretty based puzzles and dungeon areas. They just weren't very engaging and not very memorable at all. And then another huge thing is the combat. The combat is just bland. It is super bland to me. Come at me. If you disagree, tell me why it isn't, because it is very base, bland. It doesn't really grow as far as techniques. You get more abilities and whatnot, but it's with your staff, which is Crystal staff, by the way. In the original game, Crystal had the staff, and the wolf character, who I can't remember his name right now, has a sword. So let's just let Fox keep the sword. And but again, we're talking about just the combat itself. And again, in the original game, I haven't played enough of it yet to see if the combat in that game is any better. I doubt it. It's probably just as bland in Dinosaur Planet. And maybe Miyamoto looked at it and said, your combat's bland, your level design and your dungeons, your puzzles are kind of meh. Let's make a Star Fox game to hopefully at least sell it, because you guys put a lot of work into this thing. So maybe that was the thinking. And they didn't want it to stand on its own because it really wouldn't have done well on its own. Maybe that's the case. I mean, Jet Force Gemini, love that game. It barely sold 1 million copies, I think. I think it also had to do with timing as well, but yeah. So I understand it on that aspect. But those are the things that are in Star Fox Adventures that are pretty barren and lame to me. Even like the way people this text comes up on screen kind of annoys me. The way the weapon, I guess weapon wheel is designed for the UI in the game is a little annoying, a little dry. I don't know, just little sides, things like that. But it's just not very engaging. Even in the story, I barely remember. Again, I might like the original story better because it has Crystal doing her thing, and maybe just the elements they forced in there. Like Star Fox stuff, it's just terrible. Like, it should not be in as far as like the peppy interactions and Slippy and whatnot. That stuff just really takes you out of the game. It does to me. So again, for fans of the game, I'd like to know what you love about it. I really do. I'm not being funny or anything, because those things really brought the game down for me. Again, I had fun with it. I played it. It was an early GameCube title. It looked great. It ran great. So technically, it was really sound. But just in the gameplay itself, it was lacking to me. So yeah, that's it. Let me know what you guys think. Am I crazy? Star Fox Adventure, one of the greatest games of all time. Do you agree? Have you played the original Dinosaur Planet? It is really cool. And I think the guy is still selling these on eBay. This is the box, and you can actually get a cart. It's not in reaching range. I've shown it before. It's a 64 cart with this artwork on it. Looks great. and you can get that, and you can play it like a regular. You put it in your N64 and just go. But yeah, that's it. Let me know what you guys think again in the comments below. Thank you again for watching and listening, and I'll see you fools next time. Peace out.